Darting is the act of cutting out a wedge-shaped piece of clay, or really any shaped piece of clay, from a flat slab to add curves to your pot. There's the three types of main ways to do it. There's the straight line, the concave line, and the convex line. Each one will give you a different look. Now what I'm doing here is I'm using my knife tool to cut these out. This is just for demonstration purposes. Obviously you'd want to score and slip this if you wanted to stay together. But I love the way that these different cuts will make different profiles on your pot's form. So take some time and kind of look at these, what they turn out to be, and decide how you want your cup to look like. Alright, I have my dart template right here. And one thing that's very important is when you cut this out, it's really going to narrow up your cup a lot. I would suggest no wider than the width of a fettling knife. Now this template is more for just a guide for me. And again, it's going to narrow it up quite a bit. So I'm going to do 3 darts out of mine. So I'm going to try to go for, divide this into thirds. So 1 and approximately here and here looks to be about thirds to me. And again, I'm using more of this as a guide than anything. So I'm going to put this here. One thing that's essential here is the angle I cut. Now for some darts you can cut it at a miter to help it join better, but for this cup you really want to do a perpendicular or a 90-degree angle to the cup. So I'm going to cut straight down right on this dart here. I'm going to cut all the way through. Clay is very soft. Again, if you're not perfectly on the line, that's okay. It's more just a guide. When I'm scoring this, just like on our slab box, the most important part is at the top of the seam and the bottom of the seam. If we do get a crack, that's it's most likely to happen. So I'm going to make sure I score that up really good and make sure it gets plenty of slip on it. Now this clay is pretty wet, so it should join together pretty well, but you just want to make sure. So I'm really going to get that edge really good. Then I'm going to join that together, and that's a dart. I'm going to try not to pinch it. I'm going to push the clay together rather than pinching. And you can see how it narrows the cup. And do that on the rest. Darting doesn't only have to be done on the bottom of the cup. You can pretty much dart a pot anywhere. So for this one I'm going to do it in the middle of the cup. That'll make it have a narrow waist. To help me line it up, I've centered it closely on my banding wheel, and I'm just going to make a line where approximately where I want this mark to be, and I'm going to draw a line there. Again, it's just to help me center it up, and I've drawn it shallow enough that I can erase it. Just like our other cup, I'm going to do this in thirds. You could do it in 4s or less or more. Let's see if I can put one of these on the seam. Since I already have one seam there, do 2 there. So. Just in making this video, I had 5 cups that I did not keep because I tried something and it didn't quite work out. One way to save yourself a lot of time is to make a small slab and just use that to try some extra ideas on. Now I didn't score and slip the seam, I just rolled it, and again this is just for the purpose of trial and error. And I've actually made 3 of these as well as the 4 cups, or 5, I can't remember how many I ruined, but this can really help you, and it is a lot of fun to see what different shapes make. So if you want to try something a little bit different than what we do in class, you're more than welcome to, and I do encourage it, but it may be good to just make it on a small scale before you make a large one. So I'm just kind of curious to see what this shape would make, something that goes in and then out, and this is a great way to do it. So I can see if I like that or not, or if it's worth pursuing on a larger cup. Okay, so that's kind of interesting the way it waves. I'm also curious to try this one right here. Maybe one that goes in a little bit at the end. It's not going to fit, but I can draw that on there. So I'm curious to see what this would look like. Oh, I really like the way that curves out.